Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. It could be tricky today because the SGX Nifty is indicating a cut of about 50-55 points. But let's see how it goes. Right now, the bulls are still definitely have their, grip, which is tight on the market. But let's see, profit taking in the last few days on the top line index, on the headline index is something that we have seen. But for today, our entire team is standing by with CNBC-TV18's list of top 10 stocks. Let's start off with coal. India, it's been in the news for the past couple of days. You're watching it today as well?
Well, that's right, Sonia. You got that price hike that the street was waiting for. And Dipam has gone ahead and said, now we want to sell some stake in the company. So timing as well is pretty much apt. Now, they've launched the OFS. The government, as of now, holds close to around 66% in the company. The base issue is close to around 1.5%. There's a green shoe option of another 1.5%. So in all probability, there could be 3% that will be up for sale. Now, the floor price of the offer, well, it's at around 225, which is close to around 6.5% discount in comparison to yesterday's close price. For retail, well, it'll open tomorrow. For non-retail, it'll open today. And then tomorrow, both can participate as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, if the government does the entire 3% at the base price, then they'll garner close to around 4,150 crores, 4,160 crores to be precise. For Coal India, what works? Valuations. It trades at around 5.5 times, dividend yield of close to around 8.5% odd, which is heartening. What doesn't work is e-auction prices have been coming in lower because international globe prices have come in down. Remember, that's bulk of their profitability, so they don't want to risk it in case e-auction prices fall further from here. And also, the price hikes were taken, that's good, but it takes care of only half of the entire employee cost spike. So going with red out here because there's a sharp discount on that OFS. But Ekta is joining us to run us through a couple of those pharma stocks that she's tracking, Laurus Labs and Cipla. Ekta?
Thanks for that. Well, I'll start with Laurus, where they are increasing their stake in a cell and gene therapy company, ImmunoAct. So this particular company was founded in 2018. It is focusing on CAR T therapy, which is basically specifically for blood cancers. Currently, their drugs are in clinical trials. So Laurus Labs will be acquiring an additional 7.24% stake in the company for 80 crores. Remember, their earlier investment was in November 2021. They will now hold 33.86% stake in this company post the completion of the transaction. Cipla, the company, was looking to sell around 51% stake in their Uganda arm for around $25 to $30 million. The deal was expected to be completed on or before 31st July. They have informed the exchanges that the timeline is subject to receipt of regulatory approval plus conditions of the SPA, which is the share purchase agreement. Hence the timeline of completion may be extended as per the mutually agreed timelines between the two parties.
Okay, all right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. But let's go to Abhishek now. He's tracking Spandana Sphoorty this morning. Abhishek, why is that?
Well, as per news report that is in Economic Times, Spandana Sphoorty's founder, that is Padmaja, is planning to offload part of her 14.5% stake that she has in the company. So she had stepped down as MD of the company about 1.5 years ago, and she aims to get about rupees 100 crore from this stake sale. Remember that this will be the initial divestment. Her stake is actually valued at 725 crores. So she's also planning to secure a separate NBFC MFI license. Her current stake, as I mentioned, is valued at about 725 crores. So this may be around 14% of her stake that she is planning to offload. She has had an investment banker for the same, and out of this 100 crore that she intends to garner, about rupees 40 crore will be used to repay her debts on the pledge shares that she has with IIFL Finance. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. Well, Mangalam joins us to run us through some more stocks that are in the news today. Morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So I have 3 stocks on my list. We start with HIL. There's been a strike at the Chennai plant of the company. So until that subsides, we may see some sort of production impact out there. Even if not that, there would be some uncertainty. You'll see some red out there on HIL. Did well in yesterday's trading session. MOIL is the other one that I'm looking at. They've increased the prices of a few grades of fines by about 10% so mild positive out there as well. And finally, Dredging Corp, an interesting one out here because the government has actually removed, and it's the word removed, GYV Victor from the services of the company as MD and CEO. This is under provisions of the conduct, discipline and a performance sort of act coming in for the company. So it'll be an interesting one, mainly because the removal of MD and CEO is sentiment negative, but does that mean a change in management could change the fortune of the company as well? So the lows on this stock today is something that I'll be watching out for closely.
All right, Mangalam, thanks very much for that. Now, we've seen a price cut for propane gas and Gujarat Gas and GAIL here perhaps could be impacted. Sonal is here with more details. Sonal.
Thank you so much for that. Well, the news is that Saudi Aramco, the biggest producer of propane, they have cut prices sharply to $450 per ton, and the cut is around $105 per ton. Now, why will it impact Gujarat Gas and GAIL? Because remember, propane is a competition product for Gujarat Gas, and propane is a product for GAIL. So while it will be negative for Gujarat Gas because prices have been cut, it will also be negative for GAIL because prices have been cut here. Now, Saudi Aramco says they have cut this because of ample supplies that they're getting in Middle East and US, and there's low petchem demand coming in from China as well, so a price cut was important. This would be implemented in India from July because this pricing is always done with a 1 month lag here. July propane now, it would become 16 to 17% cheaper versus Gujarat gas price. Now remember, Gujarat Gas has taken 5 price cuts so far. One, because of lower spot LNG prices, also because propane was always cheaper than Gujarat Gas, and that's why all their customers were going to consume propane. So that was leading to a lower volume for Gujarat Gas. Now with this price cut, again, propane becomes cheaper than Gujarat Gas, so it's negative for them. GAIL also, it is a negative because in the liquid hydrocarbon segment where they produce propane, the spreads would become lower. Analysts say against this, OMCs will earn better LPG marketing margins because they will be able to price it at a higher price. But still, at some point in time, OMCs will also cut prices here. So it's a negative for Gujarat Gas because it's a competition product, and negative for GAIL because spreads will be lower.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Now, I'm watching out for the aviation stocks very closely, particularly Interglobe Aviation. That's because jet fuel prices have been cut significantly in Delhi to about 89,300 rupees per kiloliter. This is from 95,900 earlier. So that, of course, is positive for Interglobe Aviation. But even the domestic air traffic has been very strong. The recent data that came in from the DGCA was that air traffic has hit record highs in the month of April. So that, of course, is another positive for Interglobe Aviation. Remember, Go First has cancelled all their scheduled flights till the 4th of June. So Indigo and SpiceJet will benefit from that as well. But all of this perhaps is factored into the stock. If you look at the stock performance, and if my director can just pull up a 3-month chart, this is the last 1 month, of course, 17%. In 3 months, the Interglobe Aviation stock is up 30%, perhaps pricing in a lot of the good news. But of course, a fall in ATF prices is definitely positive for the entire sector. You want to take us through a quick recap?
Yeah, let's do a quick recap then of all the stocks we just discussed for you. Stocks with positive news flow, they include Laurus Labs, Spandana Sphoorty, MOIL and Interglobe Aviation. While stocks with negative news flow include Coal India, Cipla, HIL, Dredging, Gujarat Gas, as well as GAIL. Well, that's about all the stocks that are in the news. But let's turn our attention away from the equity markets and focus on the commodity space. Manisha Gupta joins us, as always, to give us a complete roundup. Morning, Manisha.
Well, morning. Looking at the crude oil prices right now, which are trading at a 4-week lows, and we have seen 10% of decline for the month of May. The Asian markets right now seem slightly supportive as the U.S. debt ceiling passes House vote, and then the CAIX in China General Manufacturing PMI has come in at 50.9 versus 49.5 in the previous month. So these couple of factors clearly seem supportive right now. But the street will also watch out for the U.S. crude inventories. Well, that data gets released today. And then you have the 4th June OPEC and Allies meeting. Friday brings you the U.S. non-farm payroll data, so it's going to be quite a volatile crude oil prices. But the markets do believe that $70 a barrel is a strong support. If that gives away, then you could be looking at further losses coming in for this one.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. But